So for many months, Americans have been told to fear the worst, and for many reasons. Because jobs keep going away, businesses keep on laying off employees, we're seeing these threats from other countries, we have a transition from the Biden administration into the Trump administration, and then everything else in between. Now today, we need to talk about the new jobs report that just came out. This is breaking news. I want to break down what's happening, what some of the changes are, and whether or not this is good news or bad news. But just a little heads up, this was actually better than expected. The problem, though, is there are some underlying issues that we could face that would actually push us potentially into a recession in multiple months. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but I want to break all this down in just a moment. First, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So the jobs report came out just this morning. I want to show you something. Look at this. It says U.S. payrolls rebound from storms and strikes, rising by 227,000. It says the November print beat estimates slightly after October revised up. Unemployment moved higher, adding to bets for Federal Reserve rate cut. Now, I want to talk about the storms and strikes because over the past month or so, we have seen there were multiple storms that hit the East Coast. We've seen even here on the West Coast, we saw a cyclone bomb. We've seen a kind of atmospheric river. Okay, we've seen a lot of these different issues. Wiped out power to a lot of the West Coast or parts of it. Right, trees were down, internet was off. Right, a lot of issues. Then we had strikes, one of which was Boeing. That strike ended. So that right there brought tens of thousands of people back to work. That was great. But here's the issue. We are transitioning into a new administration, from the Biden administration to the Trump administration. Now, I don't want to use this video as a way to say bad things about the Biden administration, but one of the things that they did was they were hiding the facts that we don't have as many jobs as we once thought we did. The jobs that we are getting are more government jobs. This is one of the reasons why the President-elect Donald Trump is putting together a new kind of department, which he's calling the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. This is going to be run by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Now, they both said we need to get rid of government waste. But what we are going to see in this report is exactly that. Additional government waste. Now, we just keep on hiring more and more employees, but soon those employees are going to be let go. That's the issue. And at that point, we're going to see unemployment shoot up. We're going to see these jobs report look completely different. Let's get right down to it. So it says non-farm payrolls increased by 227,000 last month, following an upwardly revised 36,000 gain in October. Okay, so that's good. We got more employment. That's something that we want to see. It says the unemployment rate, which edged higher to 4.2%, also pointed to cooling demand for workers, with long-term joblessness at the highest in almost 3 years. So that right there is actually a positive sign for the Federal Reserve to come in and start to lower interest rates, but it's a bad sign for our economy because we are seeing long-term joblessness. So now it's not just people are out of work for 2 to 6 weeks. Now people are out of work for months. That's an issue. Okay, that's a big issue because the longer you're out of work, it's less likely that you will find a job. Also, the longer you're out of work, it's more likely that you're falling behind on bills. Again, the bills, the debt that we're racking up as consumers is concerning simply because banks, very soon, in about 2 to 3 months, they're going to have a massive problem because they have to refinance commercial mortgages to the tune of about $1.5 trillion. And many banks are saying if they cannot refinance these, which it doesn't look likely, that they could potentially go under. Again, if banks go under, we're going to see the economy somewhat crash, or we're going to dip into a recession. Now, I want to show you another one. Look at this right here. Okay? It says Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said earlier this week that the central bank's decision to start rate cuts with a half-point move in September was meant to send a strong signal of the Fed's intention to support the labor market. Policymakers reverted to their usual quarter-point reduction at November's meeting, and several have suggested it may soon be time to pause cuts as the economy proves resilient. One of the things that the Federal Reserve is likely going to do, because of the reports that we're getting, and we'll get a CPI report here very soon, but one of the things that we're seeing is that there's the problem is that the economy is still somewhat strong. People are still spending money. But when everything starts to kind of crash, right, or it's the start of the crash, that's where the Federal Reserve can be like, okay, let's wait, let's see. As long as the economy stays very stable, but slowly coming down, we're okay. But if it crashes, then maybe we make a move. Okay? If it rebounds, then maybe we make a move. But right now, we have to wait and see. Look at this. Remember where I said there were government employees that just keep getting added? Well, look at this. So job gains were focused on healthcare. 54,000 people were hired for healthcare just last month. Leisure and hospitality accounted for 53,000. Government accounted for 33,000. Says sectors that have consistently led payroll growth for the past few years. Social assistance added 19,000 to the total. The big one, though, is this government job. Okay? Healthcare, leisure, and hospitality, I understand that. But the government adding 33,000 positions, 33,000 jobs in November, that's concerning. And it's concerning because we have seen the government add tens of thousands of jobs every single month recently. All those people could be out of work very soon. Why are they being hired, and for what? That's the big question. And I've talked about this before. I have friends that do work for the federal government, and they've told me many times that they don't really know what they're doing for 8 hours. Because their job, their actual job can be finished in between 1 to 2 hours. But they are there for 8 hours every single day, okay, 5 days a week, 40 hours every single week is what they're working. They are there, but yet they only work between 1 to 2 hours a day. Everything else is just kind of, talking with people, right? Driving around depending on what their job is, right? It's pretty much just wasted. I have a friend that works for the U.S. Forest Service, where he was saying that really his job can be done in less than 2 hours. Okay, sometimes it takes him a little bit more, but it's less than 2 hours. He works full 8 hours. Most of his job, just driving around. Just driving around, that's it. For what? Right? That's what we're talking about, government waste. So this is what the Department of Government Efficiency is going to come in and do. They're going to review all this. And when they do, they're going to start making some changes. This is where we could see the unemployment rate here in the United States go from 4.2% today. It could shoot up over 5%. We could see it shoot up over 5% in the next handful of months. 3 to 6 months, it could shoot up. So we're going to see what happens there. But the reason why I wanted to share this with you, number one, this report was better than expected. So that's good news. This could actually mean that we could see a rate cut when the Federal Reserve meets next, which would be great. I think it's like December 17th and 18th. So that would be good there. That would actually lower interest rates. That would be good for people that are buying cars, people that are looking to buy a home, right? Could be great news. But again, this is also just the start, all right? So just keep that in mind. Yes, this jobs report was better than expected, but there's still a lot more that we have to do. So as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.